What's up, fight fans? Thank you once again for tuning in. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you're not new and you're coming through to watch another video, honestly, much appreciated. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk UFC. So obviously, we all know what the title of the video is. Is UFC about to throw their hat into the boxing ring? Immediately, even when I was doing the video, even my thought process to do the video was no, of course not. UFC control MMA. They've got, I guess they've got somewhat of competition. Bellator's there, ONE FC is there, World Series of Fighting, Cage Rage. I think they're still called Cage Rage in the UK. There's a few, but MMA, UFC completely dominate. I'll probably say they have about 75% of the market share, which is huge. They've just been bought out by WME-ING, which is what William Morris Endeavour's ING, for $4 billion, which is astronomical. To think that the Fertittas and Dana White bought the company for $2 million and they've sold it a few years later for $4 billion shows just how the popularity of the sport has risen, how they've been able to promote it. They've had some superstars that boxing would have loved to have had over the few years. They've even got, which is incredible, they've got women into fighting and made superstars out of women fighting. Boxing's never been able to do that. Never. Boxing's never, ever seen a woman superstar like Ronda Rousey. And you probably say they've never seen anyone like Gina Carano, Cyborg, and the list goes on and on and on. And when you think about it, someone like Holm was actually in boxing, right? She was a world champion in boxing. Not a fantastic, unbelievable boxer, but nonetheless, she was a world champion in boxing. The average man in the street wouldn't have known who she was. Now ask them who Holm is. Yeah, it could be a bit because of the Ronda Rousey fight, but regardless, people know who she is. They know how to promote their fighters, which made me think of them throwing their hat into the boxing ring. Dana White, we know, comes from a boxing background. I think Floyd Mayweather alluded to on numerous occasions how him and Dana White go way back and way back and way back. Dana White has started from a boxing background. Dana White, more than anything, is a fighting fan. That's what he is. Which is why he always puts the best fights, I think, together in the UFC. He just wants to see someone that, is a crowd favorite. He wants to see that person fight that person. And because it's the UFC, because they dominate, we get to see those fights. And it's fantastic. And let's be honest, guys, in boxing, that takes years to happen. Years to happen. Sometimes the wait is worth it. Sometimes Pacquiao Mayweather, it's not. PBC have tried to do the UFC model in boxing. They tried to buy out everyone. There was a time, and guys, you probably all know that 2 years ago, when literally it was like every single day there was another name signed to PBC. That didn't quite work out the way it should have worked out, and unfortunately some of those names kind of stopped, their contracts ran out, they kind of left PBC, and Al Heyman have gone on to do Pastors New. People might look at it and straight away that UFC won't do it. UFC are in the mixed martial arts world, they're doing okay, sort of doing more than okay. The new owners are all about money, people. The new owners are all about money. They would watch and see exactly what's going on right now with Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. And yes, that can't happen all the time, but they'll see exactly what's going on and think, wait a minute. There isn't a market leader in boxing. There just isn't, right? There's I think, about 5 promotions that are kind of level pegging. I think Golden Boy, Al Heyman, PBC, Matchroom, Top Rank, so what, are all like here together. No one's there. And I think there's a chance, almost an opportunity for a promoter still to come through, I believe, and do that. Almost like the way Al Heyman did with PBC. Can you imagine Dana White promoting boxing events? There isn't a better promoter in the world right now than Dana White. There just isn't. He is fan friendly, everyone loves him. He's opinionated, whether it's good or bad, he's got an opinion. Look, we've been begging for Al Heyman to do an interview for years, we can't get one. Bob Arum, old and senile, and I don't mean to be rude by that. Don King is kind of done. Eddie Hearn's okay in the UK, he's not bad. Main events, Cafe Duva, no. Oscar De La Hoya is okay, but we know the issues he has. We're begging for a top promoter, and I think Dana White sees a hole in this. I saw an interview with Dana White and Stephen A. Smith. And he alluded to the fact that we might see some boxing stuff happen. And I feel there's an opportunity there for UFC to do boxing. If not the UFC, for Dana White to maybe split and do something like he did with Fertitta early in the UFC days with boxing, and maybe promote a few boxing events. Look, they won't struggle to get TV viewership. Let's be honest, they won't. Is it a bit far-fetched? Probably, but I think boxing and all boxing promoters could learn a hell of a lot from the way UFC promote their events. And if UFC can bring 20% of that promotional skill to a boxing event, it'll make a lot of money, and that's what it's about right now. What do you guys think? UFC doing boxing events, is that possible? Let's remember as well, Bellator, who are MMA as well, do kickboxing events as well. So Bellator do kickboxing events. So you never know. You never know. I don't think it's as far-fetched as people think. And I think Dana White being in and around this event right now could get the boxing bug back again. And he's got a few rich billionaire friends. In fact, he himself is close to being a billionaire as well now. So you never know. I've seen stranger things happen. UFC, MMA, UFC, boxing.